Imagine spending years, literally years, meticulously planning and recording um, almost 700 highly produced videos.
Right, which is a massive undertaking.
Oh, totally. You pour your heart into the lighting, the audio mixing, the collaborations, and after all that sustained effort over a span of years, your latest release drops.
Let me guess. It goes viral.
Nope. It gets exactly 6 views.
Oh, wow. Just 6.
Just 6. Now imagine waking up the very next day, totally unbothered by that, and happily starting production on the next one.
I mean, that completely defies everything we're taught about the modern creator economy.
Yeah, exactly.
We're so conditioned to believe that content has no value unless it achieves scale. Like if the graph isn't going up and to the right, conventional wisdom says you should just pivot or quit.
Which is exactly why today's deep dive is going to challenge how you look at the internet, because we are exploring the digital footprint of a creator named Umesh.
Yeah, and on the surface, the metrics are incredibly modest.
Very modest. We are talking about a YouTube channel with 1.36K subscribers. But the number that forms the foundation of our analysis today, the thing we really need to focus on, is the volume of output. 693 videos.
That number, I mean, that requires a profound level of intrinsic motivation.
Yeah, you don't just stumble into making almost 700 videos.
No, not at all. Creating that many videos isn't just some fleeting hobby. It's a dedicated, years-long practice.
A discipline, really.
Exactly. And in an era where digital platforms operate like fast fashion retailers, pumping out disposable, algorithmically optimized trends just designed for instant gratification, this channel operates completely differently.
How so?
Well, it's more like carving petroglyphs into digital stone. We're looking at what happens when the architecture of a global broadcasting platform is used strictly for cultural preservation.
And personal joy.
Yes, personal joy rather than, chasing clout.
So before we really get into the mechanics of this, I want you, the listener, to evaluate your own relationship with your screens.
It's a good time for a self-audit.
Right. Like, when you open your apps, are you just a passenger letting a recommendation engine dictate your mood?
Most of us are, unfortunately.
Yeah, we are. But are you actively seeking out quiet, unoptimized spaces of genuine passion? Because stumbling onto Umesh's channel, it really feels like a masterclass in the latter.
It's like walking through a massive, noisy digital shopping mall.
Right.
And then suddenly finding this cozy, softly lit room where someone is just singing classic melodies purely for the joy of it.
That is a perfect analogy. And to understand how someone sustains this level of output in that little softly lit room, we really have to look at the philosophy driving it.
Absolutely. And you can actually find that philosophy explicitly stated. The channel's about page functions almost like a creative manifesto.
I love that. A manifesto.
Yeah, it directly addresses the psychology behind the content. It states, quote, "The creative mind of an artist is an expression of their soul brought to life through their art."
That's beautiful.
It is. And it posits that every single human being possesses this potential, whether they're working in visual effects or just pouring their emotions into poetry and prose.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because framing a YouTube channel as an expression of the soul introduces some serious friction.
How do you mean?
Well, if this is truly just about personal fulfillment, why make it public at all? Like, why not just sing these songs, record them, and keep them on a private hard drive?
Right, the act of publishing changes things.
Exactly. Dealing with YouTube's backend, writing out descriptions, managing uploads, that suggests a desire for an audience. So is this a public diary, or is he actually seeking validation from the platform?
What's fascinating here is that Umesh actually anticipates that exact tension in his manifesto.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he writes, quote, "As creativity soars on the wings of imagination, an artist reveals what is hidden in their mind for the rest of the world to see and admire."
Okay, the operative word there being reveals.
Precisely. This isn't about chasing a viral reaction. It's a deliberate act of vulnerability.
Because keeping art on a private hard drive is safe.
Exactly. Keeping it private is safe, but publishing it publicly is an offering. He's essentially stating that the inner world has inherent value when it's brought into the light, and that's regardless of whether 1 million people consume it or just 10.
It fundamentally separates the act of sharing from the expectation of scale.
Right.
There's actually a community post on his channel from about a year ago that reinforces this perfectly. It just says, quote, "World is beautiful. Beauty is in the eyes of beholder."
Oh, that.
It places the responsibility of finding the beauty squarely on the person interacting with the art, rather than demanding the art change to capture the viewer's attention.
He's establishing the terms of engagement, He's offering the art, but he's flat out refusing to engineer it for the algorithm's gaze.
So let's look at what this art actually looks and sounds like when that philosophy is put into practice. Because that vulnerability you just mentioned, it dictates the kind of material he chooses to share.
Right. It informs the whole catalog.
Yeah, and there's a specific video from about 3 years ago that serves as a perfect case study for this. It's a collaboration presented by Umesh and a friend named Rahul.
Oh, right. And this one actually found a solid audience, didn't it?
It did. It's sitting at almost 7,000 views.
Yeah, the video is a rendition of a song titled Mir Geeten Ko Tam Jab Gunguna, which translates to, whenever you hum my songs.
Right. And if you look at the description of this video, it doesn't have the typical, smash the like button boilerplate.
No call to action.
None at all. Instead, he provides a highly uplifting English gist of the lyrics for listeners who might not speak the language.
That's really thoughtful.
It is. It reads, quote, "Whenever you hum my songs, be happy, have no regrets. Think of the melody. Think of the gist of the lyrics. Never be unhappy. These songs are written to uplift your spirits. The world is a beautiful garden."
Functionally, that description acts as an emotional primer.
Yeah, how so?
Well, before the track even buffers, he's instructing the listener on how to receive the frequency of the song. He's setting the mood.
But here's where it gets really interesting. If you scroll just past that poetic English translation, you hit a block of metadata.
The metadata is wild.
It is so incredibly dense and specific, it feels like it belongs in a university musicology archive. He traces the DNA of the song all the way back to a 1951 film called Madhosh.
Right, a very specific era of cinema.
Exactly. He documents the music director, Madan Mohan. He credits the lyricist, Raja Mehdi Ali Khan, and the original singer, Talat Mahmud.
And he doesn't stop there.
No. Then he explicitly lists the classical framework of the song, Rag Jaunpuri and Tal Kaharva.
See, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that block of metadata transforms a standard YouTube upload into an act of active cultural preservation.
Because he's not just uploading a cover song.
Exactly. To understand why this matters, we have to look at how Indian classical music is structured. When he lists Rag Jaunpuri, he isn't just naming a genre.
Right, a rag is more complex than that.
Much more. A rag is essentially the emotional color palette of a piece of music. It dictates exactly which notes can be played, in what order, to evoke a highly specific mood or even a specific time of day.
So it's like handing the listener the architectural blueprint of the melody.
That's a great way to put it, yes. And the tal, in this case tal arva, is an 8-beat rhythmic cycle.
Okay.
So if the rag is the color palette, the tal is the engine or the heartbeat driving the composition forward. By actively tagging these classical frameworks in a modern digital space, he's ensuring that the structural mechanics of 1951 Indian cinema survive the transition into the 2020s.
It's just this incredible juxtaposition. You have this sleek, modern interface with the subscribe button, the share icon, the comment section.
Yeah, very Web 2.0.
Yeah, but it's functioning as a time machine. I mean, most modern music consumption is wildly passive. A streaming algorithm just feeds you an endless loop of audio based on your previous clicks.
Completely divorced from historical context.
Exactly. But Umesh is utilizing the world's largest search engine to index the specific lyricists and music directors of the mid-20th century, so they are permanently searchable.
It's a profound level of cultural stewardship. He's ensuring that the lineage of the art is respected, not just the aesthetic of the cover.
But, that brings us to a really difficult friction point. It's easy to be a cultural steward and champion the beauty of the world when your videos are pulling in thousands of views.
Right, when you have an audience affirming the work.
Exactly. The true test of this philosophy is what happens when that digital archive starts to gather dust. And if we look at the channel's metrics over time, we see a dramatic, almost brutal shift in audience behavior.
The historical data of the channel tells a really fascinating story about the unpredictable nature of platform architecture.
It really does. If you go back 3 to 5 years, Umesh was regularly publishing these massive, highly produced collaborations with friends. Guys named Rajiv, Sajjad, Rahul.
And those were doing well.
Very well. Those videos successfully navigated the algorithm. A track titled Jodasari Kushian Kisikele pulled in an impressive 18,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah, Pichanatha Mushkil hit 17,000 views. Dobit Hai reached 15,000.
For an independent creator doing niche, culturally specific classical covers,
Yeah.
those are incredibly robust numbers.
They really are. They were building a legitimate, sizable audience.
But we have to analyze why that traction suddenly evaporated.
Because the drop-off is severe. If you look at the uploads from just the last few weeks and months, the landscape has completely shifted.
Like a different channel.
It is. He posted a video called Jina Yanha Marna Yanha that currently has 8 views.
Just 8?
Gulabi Ankin has 6 views. Another titled Sitaram Ram Kahia has 27 views. He went from performing in a digital arena of 18,000 people to singing for a room of half a dozen.
Understand that collapse in viewership. We really have to understand the mechanical evolution of YouTube itself over the last 5 years.
Right, the platform changed underneath him.
Exactly. Platforms don't just host content. Their back-end architecture actually dictates what kind of content survives. A few years ago, the ecosystem relied much more heavily on community-based subscription feeds.
So if someone subscribed to Umesh, they were likely to actually see his next 10-minute classical cover.
Right. The user had way more control over their own curation. But platforms have aggressively pivoted to algorithmic engagement-based discovery.
Because they're competing with short-form, high-dopamine apps like TikTok.
Exactly. The algorithm now optimizes for rapid context switching and immediate retention. A slow-paced, deeply thoughtful preservation of a 1951 melody in Ragjampuri fundamentally contradicts the new mechanical demands of the platform.
It's just not what the machine wants.
No, the algorithm isolates older, niche creators, not because their art degrades in quality, but because the platform's financial incentives have changed.
So what does this all mean? I mean, for 99% of creators, watching your audience shrink from 18,000 to 6 is a death knell.
It would break most people.
It destroys their motivation because they've outsourced their creative worth to a Silicon Valley algorithm. The resilience required to look at a view count of 6 and then pour the exact same amount of love, production value, and classical metadata into the very next video.
It's staggering. It really is.
It's unbelievable.
And this raises an important question. How do we define the metrics of success for digital creation?
That's the core of it, isn't it?
Yeah. For the platform, success is purely numerical. It's retention rates and ad impressions. But Umesh's channel operates on an entirely different economy of value.
Because he hasn't stopped posting. In fact, he's expanding his footprint.
Which proves he is adapting to the architecture without compromising his ethos.
Yes, he's experimenting with newer platform features like YouTube Shorts to see if he can bridge the gap. He posted a short for Om Shanti Om that pulled in 1.4K views.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he posted another for Mera Jota Hai Japani that grabbed a few hundred. He is actively using the community tab, directly asking his remaining viewers what they want to see next.
He's still building community.
He is. And there's one specific short he uploaded recently that I think acts as the skeleton key to understanding his resilience.
Which one is that?
It's titled Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a Sanskrit phrase which translates to "the world is one family."
Ah, that concept. The world is one family. It completely reframes the project.
It really does.
If your metric of success is algorithmic virality, a video with 6 views is a failure.
A massive failure.
But if your metric for success is the act of gathering with friends like Rahul, Rajiv, and Sajjad, and preserving the intricate rag and tal of a beautiful piece of history, then the video is a triumph the moment it is recorded.
The value is generated during the creation, not the consumption.
Exactly. The upload is just the receipt of the experience.
I love that. The upload is just the receipt.
He isn't making art to feed the machine. He's making art because the art demands to be made. He wants to contribute a flower to the garden. And whether thousands of people walk past that flower or just 6, the flower remains beautiful.
It's the ultimate rejection of modern digital burnout. We started this deep dive talking about how loud and overwhelming the internet can be. But Umesh Tambi's library of 693 videos proves that the tools of the modern attention economy can be hijacked to serve a much quieter, nobler purpose.
It's a completely different purpose.
Yeah. He's using a platform built for disposable trends to construct a permanent monument to artists like Madan Mohan and Talat Mahmood.
He's built a living archive. And by maintaining that steady rhythm of creation, despite the shifting algorithmic winds, he proves that his manifesto wasn't just a marketing hook.
Right. He actually lives it.
He truly believes the soul's expression is worth documenting.
Which brings us back to you listening right now. Think about the philosophy we unpacked today. Every human being has the potential for artistic expression.
Yes, every single one of us.
You do not need to be a viral sensation to justify taking up space. You don't need the promise of an audience or the validation of a recommendation engine to write poetry, to craft prose, to sing a classic melody.
Or to meticulously document a piece of history you care deeply about.
Exactly. Your expression is entirely valid in a vacuum.
It's a critical reminder that your creativity belongs to you, not to the platforms that host it.
So as you close out your apps today and step back into the real world, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. If you had the absolute dedication to create nearly 700 videos, or write 700 essays, or paint 700 canvases,
A huge undertaking.
purely as a vulnerable expression of your own soul with absolutely zero guarantee that the algorithm would ever show it to anyone, what would your archive be about? What is the digital petroglyph you would spend years carving into the stone?
भारत की बात सुनाता हूँ है प्रीत जहाँ की रीत सदा काले गोरे का भेद नहीं हर दिन से हमारा नाता कुछ और न आता हो हमको हमें प्यार निभाना आता जिस मंच की सारी दुनिया हो जिस मंच की सारी दुनिया मैं बात वही